pro-Russia activists have stormed several official buildings in the eastern Ukrainian city of Luhansk. They seized the regional government's headquarters and the prosecutor's office. Armed men later attacked the main police station. Interim President Alexander Turchinov criticized local police for their inaction and criminal treachery. Earlier, Russia criticized sanctions imposed by the US and EU over Moscow's alleged actions to destabilize Ukraine. Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov said the US had essentially lowered an iron curtain by targeting Russia's high-tech sector. The EU, he added, had proved that it was under Washington's thumb. Russia's Deputy Prime Minister Dmitry Rogozin meanwhile warned that if the sanctions affected its rocket-building sector, US astronauts on the International Space Station, ISS, might be exposed. In other developments on Tuesday, an international conference in London heard allegations that Ukraine's ousted President Viktor Yanukovych and his associates may have stolen assets worth tens of billions of dollars. Ukraine's Interior Minister Arsen Avakov told BBC Russian that voting in next month's presidential election may not be able to take place in all regions because of the unrest in the country's east. The German government distanced itself from former Chancellor Gerhard Schroeder after he was photographed hugging Russian President Vladimir Putin at a party in St. Petersburg. Norway's defense ministry said it had suspended all defense cooperation with Russia except on border controls with its neighbor. No control. Mr. Ryabkov also stressed that Russia had no intention of invading eastern Ukraine, where pro-Russia activists have seized government buildings in more than a dozen towns and cities. Until now, only the local office of the State Security Service, SBU, in Luhansk, a city of 465,000 people less than 30 kilometers, 20 miles, from the Russian border, had been targeted. But on Tuesday afternoon, hundreds of people gathered outside the headquarters of the regional government to demand a referendum on granting greater autonomy to the east. A group of men armed with sticks and metal bars broke into the building, whose entrances were not protected by police. They then pulled down the Ukrainian flag flying from the roof and replaced it with a Russian one, and opened the main entrance to the crowd. Inside the building's courtyard, they found security personnel in riot gear massed in a defensive position. There was a standoff, but no violence. Later, crowds of pro-Russia activists overran the building housing the prosecutor's office before storming the headquarters of the Interior Ministry's police force. The Reuters news agency said about 20 gunmen opened fire at the police station with automatic weapons and threw stun grenades in an effort to force the officers inside to surrender. A BBC correspondent in the city says the pro-Russia activists also went into a regional television station, but decided not to take it over after they were allowed to make a live broadcast. Following the takeovers, Ukraine's interim president, Alexander Turchinov, demanded the dismissal of the police chiefs in Luhansk and the other eastern city of Donetsk. The overwhelming majority of law enforcement bodies in the east are incapable of fulfilling their duty to defend our citizens, he said. Sanctions. The most significant effect of the sanctions so far has been on business confidence.